Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Rajkumar's Learning App. In this session, we are going to discuss about the DPSP, Part 4 of Indian Constitution, Directive Principle of State Policy, which is known as DPSP. Okay, they are known as novel features of the Constitution. Remember this, novel feature of our Indian Constitution, which is popularly known as DPSP. Inspired by the Irish Constitution. From the Ireland, we got this and we incorporated this DPSP in our Indian Constitution. Like the instruments of instruction mentioned in the Government of India Act 1935, based on what are the things we supposed to frame the laws and what supposed to be followed as the principles, okay, under the Government of India 1935 Act. So based on that only. Together with fundamental rights, they are termed as the conscience of the Constitution. This DPSP considered to be the ideal the state should keep in mind while formulating policies and enacting laws. So what exactly this DPSP is providing? The Parliament or the state legislature, if they want to frame a laws, they need to keep all this DPSP in mind and they can come up with the policies as well as enacting the new laws for the goodwill of welfare of the Indian society. Okay, these are the constitutional instructions or recommendations of the state in the legislative, executive and administrative matters. Because these are the three important organs of the governance, which is known as legislative, executive and administrative. Governance and government, these three considered as the important organs. Okay, while framing policies or enacting any laws, we need to consider this DPSP in mind and then only we need to execute it. Okay, so DPSP continues very comprehensive based on the economic, social and political program for a modern democratic state. If someone wanted to create a modern democratic state based on the three platforms such economic, social and political, whatever the DPSP policies that we are going to discuss based on the development of economy, social and polity of the nation, okay, they aim at realizing the high ideals of justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. Okay, whatever we saw that in preamble of the constitution, that reflects here in the term called DPSP in terms of framing the policies. They embody the concept of a welfare state. Okay, if any state wanted to be a welfare, definitely they need to focus on their development in terms of socio-eco and political, right? So the DPSP are non-justicable in nature. That is, they are not legally enforceable by the courts for their violation. Okay, there is for example, fundamental rights, if it is not at all given to the Indian citizens can go for the court, High Court or Supreme Court. Here, the DPSP is non-justicable if it is not at all given or it is not legally enforceable, okay, in terms of the court of their violation. Therefore, the government, central, state and local level cannot be compelled to implement the DPSP, but all the three tiers of the government are supposed to keep this term in mind while framing the policies and enacting any new laws. So the provisions of DPSP broadly classified into three types of principles, okay, socialist principles, Gandhian principles and liberal intellectual principles. Okay, based on these three principles, all the articles I just mentioned here, Article 38, 39, 39A, 41, 42, 43, 43A and 47 comes under your socialist principles of DPSP. Article 40, 43, 43B, 46, 47 and 48 comes under Gandhian principles. 44, 45, 48, 49, 50 and 51 comes under your liberal intellectual principles. Based on these three principles only, DPSP was framed under our Indian Constitution. We'll see the articles and what are the provisions given under that. Okay, Article 36 provides the definition of DPSP. Article 37 gives application of principles contained in this part. What are the principles? Such I told you, right? Gandhian principles, socialist principles and liberal intellectual principles. Article 38, state to secure social order for the promotion of welfare of the people. Okay, so the state should secure okay, for the promotion in terms of welfare of the people. Article 39, certain principle of policy to be followed by the state. What are all the policies that has to be followed by the state? That was given under the Article 39. Article 39A, equal justice and free legal support. Every citizen of this nation, based on whatever the law framed by the center as well as the state, they need to get equal justice and also they need to get equal legal support. Article 40, organization of village panchayat. This was the one of most important principles of Mahatma Gandhi to give stress over the development of rural area. That is what the third tier government, that is local self-government, doing under our Indian constitution. So organization of village panchayats comes under Article 40. Article 41, right to work, right to education, right to public assistance in certain areas. Then Article 42, provide for just and humane condition of work and maternity relief. Wherever the laborers are working, they need to get a maternity relief as well as they need to get a good humane condition. For example, if the labor are working in the chemical industry, means they need to get the glove, and also the dangerous machines supposed to be fenced. All these kind of things supposed to be provided. Article 43, living wages for workers. Okay, wages based on the work, there should be a wage given to the people. And for Article 43A, participation of workers in the management of industries. Okay, participation of workers in the management of industries. Just giving importance to the workers also to manage the company. Article 44, uniform civil code for the citizens. Uniform civil code for the citizens. Article 45, provision for free and compulsory education for children. Okay, provision for free and compulsory education for the children. Article 46, promotion of educational and economic interest of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other weaker sections. Okay, weaker section or vulnerable section we can take. Okay, so all these people used to get the promotion of their education as well as the economic interest. Article 47, duty of the state to raise level of nutrition and the standard of living of the citizens to improve the public health. Remember, the economy of our nation is completely depending on the health of the citizens. So the public health has to be mandatory given, and nutrition, so that we can reduce the infant mortality rate as well. Article 48, organization of agriculture and animal husbandry, promotion in terms of animal husbandry and agriculture activity. Article 48A, protection and improvement of the environment. Environment degradation, it is happening nowadays. Okay, polluting the river and polluting the air. Okay, so to safeguard of forests as well as the wildlife, to preserve the species. Article 49, protection of monuments and places and objects of national importance. About monuments, as I told you, it is showing the rich heritage of our India's culture. So we need to protect all the monuments. For example, recently the Hampi Ratha temple got a glass, outside glass, because people who are going there, they are like doing a lot of other stuffs in that monument. So they do not want the visitors to touch the monument. That is the reason behind putting one glass box of Hampi. Article 50, separation of judiciary from the executive. Okay, that has to be independent. Each has to be independent. Okay, separation of judiciary from the executive, which means executive should not interfere with the judicial. Judicial should not interfere with the executive. Each has to work as the separate and independent way. Article 51, promotion of international peace and security. India is most popular for the peace. So promotion of peace and security in international level, which comes under Article 51. Okay, so some are other important articles which are added under the DPSP. Article 38. Okay, Article 38, to promote welfare of the people by securing social order, permitted justice, social and economic, political. It is completely related to the promotion of welfare. If any state which focusing on these three conditions, social, economic and political order, minimizing the inequalities, maximizing the welfare, that comes under Article 38. Whenever the state frame any laws, they has to keep this thing in mind to provide welfare of the state. To secure The right adequate means of livelihood for all citizens, shelter, food, okay, regular wages supposed to be given to the citizens. The equitable distribution of material resources. Okay, for the community common good, the material and natural resources has to be equitably distributed to them. Okay, prevention of concentration of wealth and means of production. Okay, concentration of wealth and means of production. The natural resources has to be preserved, and we should prevent that. We should not go for the individual wealth only. It has to be distributed to the complete population of India. And equal pay for equal work for men and women. There is a lot of mismatch in terms of wages given to the men and women in the labor, right? So the equal pay for equal work for men and women. Preservation of health and strength of workers, children against the forcible abuse, and opportunities for healthy development of children. All these things comes under Article 39. So to promote equal justice and provide free legal support to the poor, Article 39A, this was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. Okay, remember this, Article 39A, which provides free legal support to the poor people. Because any kind of dispute happens in terms of civil cases, they don't know how to approach and where to go, which court they need to go. So all these kind of things, they're supposed to get some legal aid, that is called support. So that has to be provided to the poor people under Article 39A. Okay, Article 41, to secure the right to work, to education, to public assistance in case of unemployment, old age, sickness and disablement. Whenever you go for work, okay, you will get a lot of other stuffs like pensions and all, right? So sick leave, those kind of leaves, everything will be preserved by the Article 41. Article 42, to make provision for just and humane condition for the work and maternity relief. So 43A, participation of workers in management of industries, which also added under 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. To organize the village panchayats and endow them necessary powers and authority to enable them function as a units of self-government. Article 40. Because this village panchayat is very important, because in India we have three-tier government. Okay, three-tier government. One is center, and another one is state, and another one is local self-government. This local self-government, which is carrying panchayats as well as the municipalities. Okay, so this Article 40, which gives the necessary power to the local self-government to do the welfare of the rural areas. Article 43, cottage industries and cooperative textiles. That is one of the ideology of Gandhian principles. During the non-cooperation movement, Mahatma Gandhi promoted Khadi, and also he made Charaka as the symbol of NCM. So he wanted the same to be happened in the future also. That's the reason of Article 43, promotion of cottage industries and cooperative textiles in basic area, basic rural areas. To prohibit the consumption of intoxication drinks and drugs, which is injurious to the health. Okay, Article 47. 48, to prohibit the slaughter of cows, calves, other milch and draught cattle to improve their breeds. Article 44, to secure all citizens a uniform civil code throughout the country. Article 45, education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years. Also, it was amended under the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2002. Okay, Article 50, to separate the judiciary from the executive. Article 51, international peace and security. So, whatever the articles we discussed under the table, this was the description so that you can read and you can get to know what exactly, all this thing. Okay, right. The ideal of welfare state in the Indian Constitution is enshrined in the DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policy. Okay, so whatever the welfare state, the policies and the principles under the Indian Constitution, which carries all the articles under DPSP. Organization of village panchayat in the DPSP is based on whose principle? We know that Gandhian principle, because Gandhi wanted to develop the rural area. Which article of the Constitution of India describes the organization of village panchayats? Article 40, under the Gandhian principle only. Okay, which part of the constitution which is related to the DPSP? Okay, part 4 of the Indian Constitution. Okay, so go through the previous slides so that you can understand about all the concepts under DPSP and practice more, quiz, so that it will help you to get more score in your examination. Okay, we'll see you in the next session. Thank you.